Hey, I'm Stephen from Naked Biker. This is my poor old Honda XL250s. Not S for sport, I don't know what S is for. Anyway, this is my 40-year-old trail bike, okay? It's pretty small, about as small as you are going to get to still almost do highway speeds. Now, as you can see, it's pretty loaded. It's got some fuel and it's got all my tent and sleeping gear. I'm going to do a trip that's about 1600 k's out to a place called Roma and back into the Gold Coast. Now this is the second time I would have tried or done this trip. The first time, the poor old thing blew up. Piston got hot, melted, was all over, not so good. In an area with no phone cover. So this time I want to be a bit more prepared and just see if I can learn and listen to the bike, and hopefully that doesn't happen. Anyway, let's get into it, get moving and see if this thing is going to do the trick. Here I am at Lake Moogara, I think it's like that, just before a place called Cunningham's Gap, which is quite a steep incline. And tomorrow I'll be heading over, which is called the main range, heading over the range. Well, morning. First morning in the tent. It's yeah, I've just woken up. The first thing I do is actually grab this camera, so it's a little bit chilly last night, not in the sleeping bag, but certainly in the tent. And it was actually quite windy, which is quite surprising. But I guess it's time to open the tent up and have a look at this lake. I positioned the tent so I could look at the lake first thing in the morning, so I guess let's see that. There's something about the serenity and the self-sufficiency. I know it's not completely self-sufficient because I've got phones and God knows what else, but it's about something so small as that little bike behind me, carrying all of this gear, including the food, and being able to survive and live comfortably. This to me is, I could do this forever. Alright, well, a local just said to me to go down the main street of Warwick, which is where I am now. Look at all the trees and the flowers, because no one apparently goes down the main street. Alright, I'll go down the main street, have a look at Warwick. The city was worth it, nice little town. However, I don't think I'll stay here because, as you can see behind me, in Warwick at the moment, it's de-sexing month. I don't want that to happen, so I'm going to get out of here, alright? Well, this is the Goondiwindi showgrounds. You can stay here, it's bugger all. $15 or something like that, I'm not sure. There's a whole lot of caravans over there behind me, you can sort of see in the distance. And it's pretty basic, but it's got toilets and showers, so that's great. All I look for is a place to put the tent that's legal. I know, when you do it on video, you can't be sort of doing it illegally. Zero degrees, and we have almost frozen. Almost? Close. Oh no, yeah, frozen there. Here we have ice on the bag. Now this is the sort of thing in Australia you want to be really careful of when you're camping, alright? Really careful. You see this track here? That was a large snake that came through last night. You see where I was camping just there. Now that wasn't there last night. So it was a snake that came. No, I'm just having you on. It's not a snake. Listen. Nothing. Nothing at all. All I can hear is the slight dinging of the exhaust cooling down on the motorbike. Nothing at all. No wind, no cars, nothing. What I love though is, other than the flies, is the fact that there's a sign there advertising for something, earthworks or something, in the middle of nowhere, and there's no cars. Well, this is Monty's garage. Oh, bloody flies. In Glen Morgan. So I'm going to go and take a look inside.
6 weeks ago.
Oh, 6 weeks ago?
Yeah, car accident. One of his old vintage cars.
Oh, okay. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. So,
Yeah.
today I've been scratching my head. Okay, I'm actually scratching my head, but I've actually been thinking about what I do today, because there's 541 k's to home, and I really do want to test the bike out, and I don't really want to do the split it up, and I'm thinking of doing 541 today, the bike fully loaded, the most it's ever done in one day, on a 40-year-old 250 with probably, I don't know, 60 kgs of gear and petrol and, extra for petrol. So it's about 5:30, I reckon I get up, have breakfast, pack the gear up because it can be wet today and be dried out when I get home. I reckon I see what it does. Okay, well, I'm outside. I have to talk really quietly because it's like 5:30. But now that I'm outside, breath's condensing. Really cold. I've got all the gear on. This is the bike.